Hi guys, and welcome to the BookishStitcher podcast. My name is Jeanette. I'm your host. You can find me on most social media sites as the BookishStitcher. I hope you guys had a wonderful week since we last chatted. I've been having a great one. I actually, last Friday night, taught a Learn to Knit night with some friends, and it was really great, and they learned so quickly. I hope all the future classes I teach will have students that are that easy. So I'm also actually teaching another one tonight, this evening, and we were going to do it here at the house. We did the other one here at my house, but I asked everybody if we could go to a local coffee shop instead because I think it won't be too busy on a Sunday evening. So get to go out and have coffee with some friends and teach them to knit, so that's going to be fantastic. So I'm just going to jump right into the show this week because I've got a lot to talk about. But first, before I show my finished objects, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who sent me well wishes that I would feel better, and I do feel a lot better this week, and I don't think I actually had the flu because I know that can lay you out for a while, and I never really had a fever. I just kind of felt awful, and a whole bunch of friends were posting, local friends were posting about cedar, and I forgot my January nemesis is cedar here in San Antonio, and it always gets me. And a couple of years I have gotten to where I sounded like I had bronchitis, so cedar must be the culprit, I'm thinking. So hopefully allergy pills have been helping once I kind of discovered that that was the cause. So thank you guys for all the hope you feel betters, okay? And let's get into what we have next. So I have some finished objects this week. I have my socks, and these are the Wisdom Yarns North Pole in the colorway Jack Frost, and I made these were my Christmas socks, and they're done. And I just had a little bit left last week, so those were pretty easy to finish up. But the big finished object I have is my Heidi Kiermaier sweater, the simple summer simple summer tweed top-down V-neck by Heidi Kiermaier. I think I got that right. And this is in some Barocco remix. And as you can see, the ends aren't all woven in yet, but the sweater is done. Two sleeves. Last week I just had the one sleeve left, and then the neckband, which is just really a couple rows. And I might go back and lengthen the body of that. I'm not quite sure yet, but it might happen just because I really like mine really long. Take a sip of my coffee, which I'm going to talk about in a little while later with a future Ravelry Group idea that I have. But those are my finished objects. So now I wanted to show you guys some things that I've been working on this week. I actually cast on for my daughter, show you guys the book that it's out of. It's out of this book. It's not really a goal of mine this year, but I do want to knit some more with patterns that I've gotten out of books that I have. So this is the book, and it's Debbie Bliss Simply Baby, and I am knitting for my daughter. Ugh, it's kind of squeaky. See if I can do this without showing the pattern. Okay, there we go. There it is. And I didn't show the pattern, so yay, it's the hooded jacket. And it's an older book. I don't know if you can still get it. Hopefully you can if you like it. But I am knitting this out of some Barocco Vintage in the colorway 1583. And I just really like how it has this purple heathered look. You can't really see it too well, but there are flecks of lighter purple and pink and lavender in it. And so far this week, I have finished a left front. Careful not to dip it in my coffee. You can kind of see the heathering more in the fabric. Left front. A right front. I put them on, this is on a straight and the other was on a circular, so I'd remember which was which. And then I also have one sleeve done. And of course, as you can see, it's in pieces, so it will all be seamed, which is not my favorite thing to do, but I can do it. And so I started yesterday the second sleeve, and that's about as far as I'm into it. And I had to do a little pattern modification on this because it only goes up to, I think, 24 months, and my daughter is 2 now. Almost, she'll be 3 in a couple months. So I kind of just did a little math and upped it. You know, I'm sure it's not perfect, but it's a big hooded cloak, so it won't really matter. But I upsized it so that hopefully it'll fit for when she's around 3. My next work in progress, since I finished the V-neck sweater by Heidi Kiermaier, I started another sweater for our sweater pal that is going on in the Ravelry group right now. And you can join in if you've already started a sweater. It doesn't matter, just as long as it's done before the end of March. And there's going to be some great prizes. I don't know if I'm going to do, like, depending on how many people enter, I might do more than one prize. But I know that I'm going to pick up something for you guys at the DFW Fiber Fest that I go to. So it'll be a really great prize, but I can't show it to you yet because I don't have it. But I started the Ease sweater by Alicia Plummer, and this was a pattern gift from Night Owl Knitter, and it's just a little bit. I just connected it for knitting in the round. You can see. The yarn that I'm using for this is Malabrigo Rios, and I can show you that. I brought down a skein. Look. There you go, Lavanda. So that's the sweater that I started. The last thing I have to show you guys is in a brand new bag, and I love this bag because, as you guys know, I love Russian things. There are a few countries that I'm really in love with, like their culture and their history, and Russia's at the top of that list. And I have fiber all around here, so the fiber's like bothering my nose. But anyways, this bag is actually really cool because it has a whole bunch of things that I love in one. And I've been wanting a kind of Russian bag for a while, but I've seen like the Matrushka dolls that are all lined up in a row, but I kind of wanted something that had a little bit more of a story behind the fabric. And this is a Little Red Riding Hood bag, which the origins of Little Red Riding Hood date back to the earliest known date back to the 17th century, and it's French, which is a country that I love and speak some French. It's probably one of my best known languages, after English, of course. But the style of the people and the wolf, see if I can find a better shot, are done like Matrushka dolls. So it's very, very cute. And has a little owl in the tree. I love owls, as you guys probably know. The inside of the bag is really cool too, because it's got some Norwegian-esque rose mauling. And I don't know if you guys will know what rose mauling is, but it's a Norwegian style of different painting with floral, and it's really pretty. So I just started what's in here this morning because I didn't have a sock on the needles, and I really, really wanted one on the needles because, as anybody who is a sock knitter knows, it's almost like you always want to have one on the needles because you just love it so much. What I started is some Neely's Knits, and I won this at SSK this last time, 2014, and it was like a raffle drawing. And it's In the Mood for a Love Affair. And the yarn that I am knitting this out of is very, very pretty. Let's see if I can pull it out of the skein to show you guys, or out of the bag to show you guys. Isn't that pretty? In the skein, it looks a lot more pink, but caked up, it has a ton of different colors. And I think this yarn is going to be perfect for the pattern I chose, and I just have a tiny little bit done, as you can see. This pattern that I'm doing the socks out of was actually gifted to me by Ironical Knitter, and it's the Breaking Heart pattern by Christy H. Payne. And the sock is going to just have so many happy memories because the yarn was won at SSK, and the pattern was gifted to me by a friend I met at SSK. So it's just kind of the SSK socks. I'm very excited about getting those done. So that's all my works in progress right now. I've been doing a lot of spinning, so much so in fact that if I keep going at my present rate, I will be done before the DFW Fiber Fest with all my fiber. So I need to slow down. I actually won't be able to show you guys what I'll be spinning on this week because that's going to be a present for a friend whose birthday is coming up and who watches the podcast. I really hope I can get it done in time for their birthday and mailed off to them, but if I don't, they'll just get a late birthday present. So what I've been spinning, I showed you guys this, just the Cloud Lover and the Sugar Plum. That was last week's spin. This week's spin was the Petrified Cloud Lover. And I am thinking of plying these two together. What do you guys think? Any ideas, opinions? I would love to hear what you would think. This is kind of a lot of browns and this is a lot of purples and whites, but I was going to ply them together and make a Susan B. Anderson Yowzo Weigh It shawl or whatever it's called. I think that's what it's called. But what do you guys think? Ply them together? This is looking a little more gold than it is in real life. I'm hoping that those will look okay applied together. I've never done applying a different braid with a different braid, of course, because I'm a new spinner. But it kind of makes me nervous because what if it doesn't turn out well? What if, I take these beautiful singles and then I ply them together and I'm like, no. So I'm a little bit apprehensive about that. So if anybody has any opinions on how they think those would look together, I would love to hear them. So I will show you guys my acquisitions. Now, I showed you two that I got from the Yellow Rose Fiber Festival that I went to last weekend, and I was going to show you my last two purchases this weekend because I just got 4 things there. And the ones that I got were both from the same booth. I believe it's a yarn store near that area of Texas because it was a drive out to there. It wasn't super local to me. It was like a 45-minute drive, I believe. But I got this one, and it's called the Lucky You is the yarn store, I believe. Simply Lab, and it's simplylab.com. I'm not sure how well stocked their store is or anything, but it's called, it's the Strong Sock, and it's named Podcast Hero, which made me laugh. But the reason why I picked it up is because, as you guys noticed, my sweater this week is purple. My daughter's cloak is purple. I was knitting a lot on my purple color affection. I seem to be getting into a purple mood. I don't know if you guys do this, because if anybody else does this or if I'm weird, which would be normal because I'm often the weird one. But last week, everything I showed you guys was blue. This week, everything I'm showing you is purple except for the little bit of the socks. I don't know, I just kind of go in color things. This kind of has my blue from previous to my purple love now, but I just loved this color, and the speckle dye is so pretty, and I hardly ever see it when I'm at festivals. Maybe it's more common than I think, but I feel like I don't see it a lot. So that's the one thing. And this last thing I bought, I'm not sure what I was thinking. Well, I was thinking that it was pretty. It's a kit, and the pattern for the kit is this very, very long scarf. And I'm short. I don't think I've ever talked about that on the podcast, but I am not tall at all. I'm pretty short. I'm not extremely short, but I'm 5'3", so I'm pretty short. So a hugely long scarf wouldn't really work for me. So I was thinking about making an Earth and Sky by Jared Flood. But these are the colors. And the thing that drew me in about this, anybody that knows me, I'm kind of a hippie. And these are naturally dyed with things from nature. So I just was drawn into that in this kit. And I was looking at the kit, and the guy was like, oh yeah, that's been a really popular seller today. And I was thinking on the orange because I always like it, the color. I think it's fun. But I'm never sure if I can wear it. You know what I mean? Some colors just don't look good on certain skin tones. But the guy was saying how it was very, that was the last kit they had because a lot of people like that. And my mom was there, of course, as I told you. I was like, can I wear this? And she said, yeah. So hopefully I will like how it looks on me, or it might be going into the gift bin, but that will be coming up not soon at all, actually. Probably next year in 2016, because I have a lot, and I need to knit up some of my older stuff first. So that's the enabling for this week. I actually wanted to talk to you guys about an idea I had for the Ravelry group. Oh, and I wanted to tell you guys that we got in buttons. These are from Bee and Fox on Etsy. She does those cute buttons that she donated to the podcast, or the Classical Cat donated to the podcast from her. And it's an Etsy store, and she does really cute buttons. I will take one out and show you guys. But I got these, and I showed them on Instagram, just asking if anybody wants one. And so all you have to do if you want one is just message me your address where you want me to send it to. There's nothing special you have to do for one. They're showing up kind of blurry, but it's a very clear image. It's just my camera's kind of blurry. I have a few. I don't have a ton, but I can always get more buttons if I run out. So, because I definitely want to have some to take to the DFW one for when I do a podcaster meetup, which is exciting. So, I also wanted to talk about maybe the possibility of doing some kind of swap in the Ravelry group, because I haven't done a swap in a really long time, except at like a retreat when I went to Knitting in the Mitten. I did like swaps there, but I haven't done one where you mailed it to the person, I think since I joined Ravelry like 8 million years ago. But I thought it would be cool to do like a local to you swap, not necessarily yarn, but maybe, I don't know, Texas has a lot of, it's, people that live in Texas are very proud of their state, as you probably all know, but they do have some good things. So this is the coffee that I'm drinking right now, and it's KATZ coffee, and it's a Go Texan done in Houston, Texas, and the flavor, I like flavored coffees, is Winter Candied Hill Country Pecan. And it's really amazing. And that got me thinking, because I was talking to somebody about different coffees and telling them that I love this one, and they said, oh, we don't have that here. Could you maybe mail me some? And I thought, I wonder what other places have different local things that are fantastic and that you love. And also when Kiki Lucy Shelley sent me the Tim Hortons tea that I absolutely love, but there's no Tim Hortons near here, kind of got me thinking about like the good things that are near you, and we could do a swap maybe of that. Or if you have an idea for another swap, I'm up for any suggestions. So just put them down in the Ravelry group thread for this episode, and let's talk about what we'd like to do for a swap. So I thought that would be fun. I'm going to do the giveaway for this week. So the giveaway is for this amazing bag set by Bags by AwesomeGrannie on Etsy. And I put some stuff in there so you can kind of see what it looks like all full. It's book bags. And then it comes with a matching little Notions pouch. And it also comes with a very cool zipper pull that has her little logo. See if I can show that to you. Kind of can see it through the thing. But this is the giveaway for this week time. And I also wanted to tell you guys, because I saw a lot of people were saying that they liked a lot of different bags that she had available. And we have a discount code for her shop. So it's book10, and that's good through the end of February. So if you don't win and you still want a bag, I might actually use my own coupon code, because this one's going to you guys, and I think that there's some new fabrics up in her shop. It's really exciting, and I think that I would actually like to get one of the new fabric ones, and so I might use my own discount code. Is that allowed? So I just wanted to tell you guys about that, and I'll remind you guys probably the last week in February, right before the discount code expires, just so that you'll remember. And I'm going to go to random number generator. First, I'm actually going to go lock the thread, because I've been keeping it open because I know that, some people, I put up reminder things because I know I am very bad at reading something and thinking, oh, I would like to enter that, and then completely forgetting, like, my toddler needs something and I get distracted and I never go back and do it. So I put a reminder up so that people would know that it was being closed in a few hours. And I just locked the thread, making sure how many people we have entered. There are 93 posts, so I'm going to go to random number generator and do 93 so you guys can see. Oh, it's kind of dark. Oh wait, hold on. 2 through 93, and it's a question mark. So let's generate and see. I'm excited to see who won. 84! Who are you? You see it? Okay, let's go see who this is. I'm excited. 84 is Lemon Song. It's a local friend that I haven't seen in years. It says, oh, I love the hot air balloon. So Lemon Song, you won the giveaway. I don't have to ship this. That is a definite bonus. But I'm excited. Hopefully we'll get together and give you the bag. And I also have, this is how long it's been since I've seen her. I also still have a birthday present for her from almost a year ago. So that will be cool. But if you didn't win and you still would like a bag, go ahead and go check out her store and check out the awesome discount for the book 10, and it's 10% off your purchase. So I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'm not quite sure what it is. So we will just move into the book this week. Oh, that's one thing I am forgetting. On the Ravelry group, well, two things. We're over halfway to 300. I was about to say we're almost halfway, but we're actually, I believe, over halfway to 300. And I've been looking around and trying to decide on Etsy, since I'm not buying anything for myself until the DFW market. Might change that. But I've been looking around for you guys, and I think our next thing that we're going to do for the 300 member giveaway in a few weeks will be a skein of yarn from a certain very cool yarn shop, because we haven't done yarn yet. We've done a project bag giveaway, we've done 2 project bag giveaways, stitch markers, soaps, so I thought it might be fun to do yarn. And also on that note, I wanted to ask you guys, I think what I'm actually going to do for yarn buying this year is I'm going to do the buying at the different festivals that I go to. I'm kind of saving up in between, but I think once a month I'm going to buy from a brand new to me seller that I've never tried before. So if you guys have any recommendations of indie dyers that you absolutely love, please post them on the Ravelry Group thread under this episode and tell me, because I definitely don't know everything that's out there by any means. I know that I would like to try some O-Loops yarn, and I believe there's skein in the stacks. I'm not sure if I'm getting the names right, but I definitely would like to try some new yarn. So if you have any recommendations, the ones that I don't have, my entire stash is up on Ravelry, or just recommend your favorites. Oh yeah, I'm scatterbrained right now. Apparently I need to drink more coffee. But this, people were asking about the hat I was wearing last week, and I put the pattern, it was just a simple hat that I kind of did while I made up the pattern while I was knitting it, and I put that in last week's episode thread. This is a hat pattern that was, I don't know if you can see it very well, it's Fair Isle. It was a kit from Knit Picks, and I did this a while ago. It needs to be reblocked. It came out of being washed and it's kind of scrunched. But the kit had the birds and it had a cat one, and I made the cat one for a friend of mine who loves cats, and then I made this one for myself. It was really fun. I love doing Fair Isle. Again, it's really hard to kind of see, but it's pretty. And let's see. Okay, so the book this week. We also have, in the Ravelry group thread, a book chatter. And I posted a thing for a 2015 challenge, and there's been a lot of talk about that, and people are excited, and a lot of people said they wanted to do it. So I thought I would post here on the podcast for anybody else that wanted to join in with us. It's just a way to kind of expand your reading horizons a little bit, and you definitely don't have to do all of them. You can pick and choose, or you can do what I do, which is make what you want to read fit into one of the prompts, which is probably not helping me to actually expand my horizons too much, but some of them I will have to go and find brand new authors for. But if you'd like to participate in that, definitely go over to the Ravelry group and just chat with us about, what you're reading, what your goals are, which books, if you have any recommendations for the challenge, those would be great. The book this week, I think probably a lot of people won't want to read, but I'm a bit of a nerd. And I'm also one of those people that I love learning. If I don't know about something, I want to know, and I will go find a giant book and put purple tabs in it and talk. And so, but on the way home from one of my book clubs that I'm in a while ago, I was listening to NPR, and it seems I always am lucky in that when I'm listening to NPR, they were doing a book review. And they were doing a book review, and I told myself in my brain, I was like, remember this book, remember this book, remember this book. And I went home immediately to my Goodreads account and typed in what to read so that I wouldn't forget it. And the book was The Story of the Human Body, Evolution, Health, and Disease by Daniel E. Lieberman. And as you can see, I tabbed this baby up, and as you can also see, it's gotten dirty. And I really treated this almost like a textbook. And it's very interesting. It has a ton of pictures in it. And basically what it deals with is how humans have adapted over time with different things. It talks about, how the earliest humans that we know of, what their diet was and how they ate a lot of roots and that type of vegetables, and how our jawbones used to be very, very strong and very, very huge, because when you're eating roots and such, you have to have a stronger jaw. And it also talks about, and then how, as we developed into farming and softer things and more agricultural, that our jawbones became kind of how they are today. And it also talks about a lot about the evolution of certain diseases we have now in our culture. And it talks about different running things with your feet, and that was fascinating to me because, as you guys know, or I think you probably know, I've talked about that I like to run. I don't do it enough, but I do like to run. But I wanted to just read to you guys a little bit of what this is about, and then we'll wrap up for this week. In this landmark book of popular science, Lieberman, chair of the Department of Human Evolutionary Biology at Harvard University and a leader in the field, gives us a lucid and engaging account of how the human body evolved over millions of years, even as it shows how the increasing disparity between the jumble of adaptations in our Stone Age bodies and the advancement in the modern world is occasionally this paradox: greater longevity, but increased chronic disease. So it means kind of that we've lived longer than we used to live, but we see a lot more just diseases that are just kind of wearing us down over time. That we live longer, but those last years we have a lot more diseases, and that's kind of evidenced by a lot of people having to take a lot of pills when they're older as well. A story of the human body brilliantly illuminates, as never before, the major transformations that contributed key adaptations to the body. The rise of bipedalism, which is where, different feet, the shift to a non-fruit-based diet, the amount of hunting and gathering, and leading to our superlative endurance athleticism, which is talking about how, people used to travel a lot longer for food, and the development of our very large brains, and just different stuff. I'm not going to read too much into it because I've already lost. Probably some of you are like, oh gosh. And it is very nerdy, and it is definitely for people that love science. And as I was spinning on my fiber this week, I was listening to Science Friday podcast. So that tells you how much I love science. Even though I would not call myself very intelligent at science, I really love to learn about it. I'm kind of one of those people that if I don't know something, I want to learn it just so I can know it, to kind of be able to talk to people that do know it, because I have friends that are in the field and I like to be able to kind of understand what they're saying. So that is the book for this week, and I just wanted to say that I hope you guys all have a great week, and I'll talk to you next time. Okay, bye guys.